Please consult a doctor before you try alternate day fasting or any major dietary changes. I'm not a doctor. The information I'm sharing are my experiences and opinions. Hey everyone, my name is Joe and I am here to talk to you about my experience with alternate day intermittent fasting. My goal is to go 100 days, so 50 days eating, 50 days not eating. So far it's going pretty good. This is day 7 for me, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. So day 7 wasn't too bad. I stayed pretty busy all day, which is really key with alternate day fasting. I had quite a bit of work to do. I did creative things. I did just regular work, but just whenever your mind is occupied, you're generally not thinking about the hunger, and it goes by pretty quick. I think the hunger pangs are just simply getting less too. I hope so. And maybe it's just going to be day by day, but I really felt, they were there. I definitely went through having to use my defense mechanisms and my positive thoughts and identifying when these were happening and making sure that I realize it's going to go away. One thing that I want to mention especially is for people that are just starting off with intermittent alternate day fasting, it's really important to remember that hunger doesn't just get worse. You get hunger pangs, you get hungry, or you get cravings. The way that most people think about this is that it's just going to keep getting worse. You're going to keep getting hungrier. Cravings are going to get worse. It's not going to go away. It's only just going to keep getting worse. And that is absolutely not what happens. You work through a craving, you work through the hunger, and then it goes away for a while. And then however long goes by and you get another one. The next one you get isn't any worse than the first one. It doesn't just get worse and worse. You just get cravings and hunger pangs sometimes. You work through them, they go away, then they come again. And it seems to me that they're becoming less. So that's a really positive thing. I really look forward to a time when maybe a couple of times a day you have to work through it, but it's not quite so often. One thing that happened that was new for me, this is kind of a negative thing, but I worked through it, was I had a hard time getting to sleep for the first time. Normally when I'm trying to get to sleep, I will have had some water, I'll take some deep breaths, and I'll relax, and hunger pangs aren't there. I really get the hunger pangs when I'm kind of tensed up, I've noticed. So relaxing is key, deep breaths. So when I go to sleep, I'm just trying to really relax. But what I did differently before going to bed this time was I did a late walk. I do these 3.5 mile walks just about every day, have for years. And I also at work needed to do some mild physical labor. So I did both those things pretty much right before I came home and went to bed. And that made this burning sensation happen in my stomach, and hunger, kind of in addition to hunger pains. So it was a little bit trickier to get to sleep. It was a little bit harder to get to sleep. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like I did get to sleep. It just took a little bit longer. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that terrible. I think I'll try in the future to exercise a little bit earlier in the day and have a little bit of downtime before I go to bed, so that my body's a little bit more relaxed as I go to sleep. Well, I don't have much else to talk about today, but I will leave you with this paragraph from an article I was reading about alternate day fasting that I think is encouraging and true. So here it is. Another positive aspect of alternate day fasting is that it's simple and straightforward. According to study co-author Thomas Piper, head of endocrinology at Medical University of Graz in Australia, the elegant thing about strict alternate day fasting is that it doesn't require participants to count their meals and calories. They just don't eat anything for one day. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Alternate day fasting might be a good way to go for those who prefer not to mess with apps, spreadsheets, and other trackers every time they sit down to eat. I love that. I actually am one of those people. I have done calorie counting before with the MyFitnessPal app, which is a great app, but having to track every single thing you eat is time consuming and just kind of burdensome. So I really like the more simple, straightforward approach of alternate day fasting. Like I say, it's been 7 days. I'm going strong. I'm still loving it, and that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm sure I'll talk to you again soon.